Café Anyway. What?
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Welcome to Café Anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valley, the last place on earth. It is FF episode 2841.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
2841. Mike Matthews having fun here at Café Anyway, where we are. And people all over the world, they are like stars. But that's not what I wanted to sing about. And then I'm going to shout, hey, concerts. Do people not want to go?
Mike's Daily Podcast.
What? No. After last year, with all the people going to see Taylor Swift, there must be some people
Mike's
somewhat interested
Daily
in seeing concerts.
Podcast.
But it appears
Yeah.
more and more musicians are saying the show must not go on. Major acts like Jennifer Lopez, Bad Bunny. He's Puerto Rican. That's what my lovely lady friend tells me, because she's Puerto Rican. And the Black Keys have canceled summer concert dates. J-Lo canceled an entire tour. She shut down her This Is Me tour for this summer. She said she wanted to spend more time with her family. And Ben Affleck, because it's Bennifer again. But her shows had been struggling to sell tickets. Screenshots of mostly unbought seats on ticket sales have gone viral. What is going on? Tickets are, let's see here, mostly priced. Oh my, what? Hang on, let me take my glasses off, clean them, put them back on my head, and read that again. Tickets are mostly priced over $100? I am shocked. This is shocking, to quote the wonderful Joan Cusack from High Fidelity. I'm shocked. On the demand side, what happened to her? She was the greatest actress of all time. I don't want to even argue about it.
And here's today's podcast picture.
Joan Cusack. Seriously, the podcast picture is not of Joan Cusack, but it is of the beautiful area known as Poplar Beach in Half Moon Bay. I was there recently with my lovely lady friend, who is not Joan Cusack, but she is a lovely lady friend, and we went there and had a wonderful walk and beautiful day and took the day off from work, and you need to do that too, and make sure you do that, but don't take a bunch of days off and don't lie to your manager, and work hard. But you also need your time off too, is what I'm trying to tell you. And this particular area was where we took the late great Basil the Boxer many a time. He and I explored the area. And, you know, he made a lot of friends there too, and made a lot of enemies because he chased a lot of birds on the beach, because the beach is close by to that. See that picture at mikesdailypodcast.com, where you can also catch other past podcast pictures with Basil. Now, on the demand side, the post-pandemic attitude of we need to go to this concert. Remember that? So to support the live music. Keep that theater, keep that venue from closing. We got to go. Got to keep those musicians, keep their pockets full of money. Or some of them, you know, not as popular as they were, or maybe they're trying to break through. Nobody knows who they are, and they tour and tour and tour. That's how it used to be, to try to get their name out. Of course, now there's all kinds of ways to get your name out on the internet, but you do get blotted out by all these bigger names that everyone knows already, the bigger name artists that might name with Slayer Flift.
Is that why you're bald, Mike?
What? No, I am not bald because of Slayer Slift. Don't even. I don't know. Is there really any big bands anymore? They're mostly the big bands, not big bands like Glenn Miller, but the big bands of the days, the big rock bands. AC/DC, they still tour, don't they? Oh my gosh! Oh, and then we got Janet Jackson coming to the Bay Area. But this whole we need to fight we need to keep that particular venue open or that particular band touring, keep them paid in the money. That whole thing might have run its course, is what I'm trying to tell you. But instead I get texted while I'm doing this. This is the other thing too. I've gone to concerts.
Danger, Will Robinson, danger.
I went to a lot of concerts in my life. And when you're young, you're like, oh, this is cool. Oh, look at all the people. Oh, it's like Café Anyway with all the people there talking behind Mike Matthews and making all that noise. Oh, I get to hear the music. Oh, it's so loud. Oh, my ears. Oh, I can't get out of this parking lot. Oh, I'm stuck here forever. Oh, it cost how much money to go to this? It cost how much money to park? All of that adds up. Plus, the night of the concert, you're like, it's tonight? I don't know. Do I really need to go to this? Can't I just flake on Slayer Slift? But still, this whole we need to go to this concert might have run its course post-pandemic. Taylor Swift's and Beyonce's mega tours ruled the world last year. That is quite a bar that was set very, very high up. Not everyone is being hurt by concert fatigue. Olivia Rodrigo, well, she's having no problem selling tickets because, well, she's Olivia Rodrigo and she has songs that really grab people. Very interesting. Yeah, I'll be listening to one of her songs and go, oh my gosh, this is a very young person coming out with a pretty heavy,
good looking. We'll be back to pick you up later.
pretty heavy song. And here I am trying to sing into my Mr. Microphone and I look like an idiot. Morgan Wallen also doing very well. Okay, you know who else is doing well? Cruises. The top cruise operators, Carnival, Norwegian, Cruise Line Holdings, because they're in Norway. Norway on the cruise ship, looking out for trolls and sailing through the fjords. I'm going to drink some aquavit. I am done talking to you. I'm Norwegian. That impression because someone I grew up with, my mom's friend, George. His name was George, and he had a very Norwegian last name, and he had an accent like that, and it's my homage to George. He's probably not around anymore, I would imagine. Royal Caribbean also doing really well. As we go outside of Café Anyway, where we are broadcasting from with the podcast, somewhere in Podcastro Valley, the last place on earth in the land of Ameritopica. And Rocky the cat has joined us outside. This is awesome here at Café Anyway.
Anyway.
All the wonderful people here. And you never say on a podcast, but I feel like I had to point out exactly what word I was talking about, so I just said it. So reporting record bookings is what those cruise lines are doing. Royal Caribbean stock trades above its pre-pandemic price now. That story I often tell of the guy I used to work with that bought the stock with Royal Caribbean, I'm pretty sure it was. Or was it Princess Cruises? Anyway, one of those Caribbean lines, cruise lines, not in the Caribbean, I don't know who it was. But it was a cruise line, and he saw the stock had dropped because nobody was cruising. Nobody was going on tours. Nobody was cruising. There were no tours either, concert tours, because of the damn pandemic. So, or the damn pandemic, whatever it was called. The thing is, he bought the stock, and they were giving incentives to buy the stock by saying, well, once we're back in operation again, you'll get a free cruise. So I hope he's held on to that stock because he's probably very, very rich and will probably never work for me again. And I remember during a pandemic, he wore that, that welder mask around his face because he was so paranoid of catching the COVID. Carnival, Norwegian, and newly public Viking Holdings stocks have been giddy. And by the way, people here in the Bay Area are still real paranoid about the pandemic. They still think it's going on. I still see people with masks on constantly in their cars with the windows rolled up and wearing a mask now. That that befuddles me. And I'm sure it befuddles It's a paranoia trap. Got to watch out. Unlike airlines, virtually there is no price wars. The cruise industry is 2% of a $5.4 trillion travel and tourism market. And the value is compelling. It's often cheaper to book a cabin than a hotel room. Wow. Rising demand and constrained capacity. Shipbuilding sank during the pandemic. So now, not as much space. Not as much boat to be on. Remember they were building boats like crazy, like hotcakes? Because cakes are delicious and you can make them and they're hot. Remember, is it pancakes? They were making them like pancakes? Because pancakes, you can really make a bunch of them. Don't expect the discount to happen as ships are filling and the constrained capacity, demand for space. So they are filled up through 2026, it says here. As ships start to fill up, prices go up.
Mike is awesome.
As the thank you. As the available rooms become more scarce. All that from the guy we just heard from, Rob Black. I produce this podcast, and he is heard on the radio in the Bay Area on AM 1220 KDOW weekday mornings. He is also seen on the television Monday through Thursday on Kron, and he knows a lot of stuff. And he finds all these fascinating facts. And airlines doing the price wars, but there are virtually no price wars with the cruise world. That fascinates me. Okay, Gen Z's newest status symbol is the American Express card. Amex's new benefits are targeting Gen Z and millennial customers, or Zillennials, by offering Uber ride rewards, Disney streaming, because that's what they think they want is Disney. They haven't gotten jaded like me and can't stand all the stuff Disney's putting out these days. They also are offering Saks shopping sprees, as in Saks Fifth Avenue, and special access to events like Coachella. So far, it's working because Zillennials don't mind going to concerts out there where there's no toilets and it's hot as heck and they're sweating on top of each other and there's no place to park and there's nothing to eat and you're drinking nothing except booze, and that's not a good combination. Oh, maybe they're not even drinking, they're doing the other stuff. So, yikes. That's what they want. And Amex is totally, I hate to say that phrase, but leaning into it. They're jumping on that gravy train. Which expression do you like better? Leaning into it or jumping on that gravy train? Which one? Do you like a little gravy? A is a good. Starbucks is getting roasted. Some Starbucks customers have waited 40 minutes for those frappuccinos. Nearly 10% of folks waited 15 to 30 minutes for an order, up from virtually no waiting at all pre-pandemic. Now it's up to 30 minutes an order just about, because of the understaffing. 1/3 of orders on the mobile app orders. And there's also specialty drinks.
Yeah, how's the mic, Mike?
That people are ordering on those mobile apps. So that'd be, if you really want one of them Starbucks, you just got to order online and then to casually make your way to the Starbucks to pick it up. Or use your Amex and get the special Uber. Oh, it's not Uber Eats rewards. You get Uber Ride rewards. No. Okay. Or just don't drink Starbucks. I can't remember the last time I had Starbucks. I think it was, I got my free one that I get on my birthday. That's the one I had. And it was huge. And I ordered it online. And when you're online, you can add a ton of stuff that you would be too embarrassed to ask the poor barista who's being actually, they're not being underpaid. I think they make pretty good money at Starbucks. At one point, I did go through most of the crazy rigmarole, aka the online application. I filled out most of that until I got to the part where they put you through a test an online test, and they said, block off 2 hours because now you got to do this test. And at any point you want to leave, Chewbacca won't save your place in line. You're immediately disqualified, and you got to start over the 2-hour test again, or we'll probably not even hire you because you quit the test. It was crazy. I said, forget this. What's this? Olympics on the bounce beam. Toyota has spent $853 million sponsoring the Olympic Games. Oh, they have spent that much since 2018. And they are reportedly bailing on the Olympics after Paris. McDonald's axed its contract early in 2017 after being a sponsor of the Olympic Games for 41 years.
Right. And
Salesforce is jumping out of the Olympic Games after the 2028 Los Angeles Games. That's crazy because I remember the LA Olympic Games back in 1984. And I was living in Ventura, Oxnard, that area. And we had some of the Olympic Games were up there. And Oxnard got to have its own slogan as the Olympic Neighbor. And they made all of these T-shirts. And I wore one that I got from that for years, Olympic Neighbor, because they had one of the boat racing competitions was up at Lake Casitas near Ojai. Yeah, Casitas is a funny word, Casitas. Tanking U.S. viewership is behind some of the sponsors' ideas of abandoning ship, leaving taxpayers to foot more of the bill for those upcoming LA Games. Wow, 1984, 2028. Didn't they do the Olympics sometime in the past couple of years? I forget when. And finally, electric bills are forecast to soar with the record summer heat already. The Southwest had crazy amounts of heat. Summer temperatures are expected to break records this year. So are electric bills. U.S. electricity bills are forecast to reach new heights, jumping 8%. It went from $661 to $719 from June through September. Yikes. Outside of Café Anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valley.
What was that all about?
I don't know. I just said yikes. That's what I felt. Look who's here to say. Hi, man. It's Benita the Rodeo Queen. How you doing? It's a Disgruntled Fiddle Player. Tell you what. What? I'd like to echo that man's sentiment. What was that all about? I don't know. We can say that about the news, about all kinds of news. That whole roaring, raging kitty or whatever, that guy. It was so funny last week as he was doing his little YouTube thing, his little thing that everybody was, oh, what's he going to say? What's he going to say? And stock's going crazy because of what he was about to say. And then the GameStop stock was just dropping. It's just funny. And then that other guy on YouTube that was shooting fireworks at a car. And he's going to be in jail maybe for 10 years. I don't know what you're talking about. All kinds of news. Crazy news. What was that all about? Is the name of that segment. Look who else is here. Hello, Mike. I make you delicious root beer. Have some right now.
Hey there, Mike. How are you?
Really good because I'm having some delicious Brewmaster root beer. Oh, what's in that? I call it Rib Tour. That's root beer spelled backwards. Oh, boy. Drink right now. Backwards root beer. Wow. Next show, it'll be the wonderful Madame Rootabega, Valentino, and Bison Bentley. And let me know what you think about anything we covered today on the podcast. Here's the phone number.
Call Mike at the Café Anyway hotline. Area code 510-228-4640.
And with more fantastic ways to reach me.
What is the matter with you?
I don't know. It's our little trip over to the mainframe and hearing from A-Frame talking about all the other stuff related to Mike's Daily Podcast. Take it away, A-Frame! Der Wiener Schnitzel used to be located in A-Frames. Those were cool.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com.
Email Mike now at
mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye.